Genuine question for nudists. What's it like to live a nude life or growing up in a nudist lifestyle? You learn how to maintain eye contact really well. I started going to beaches and resorts as an adult around 5 years ago, so I didn't grow up in this. But a big reason I love it is the people. Nudists tend to be pretty open, accepting, friendly people. It's hard to put up walls when you're socializing naked with strangers. This has also been really helpful for my general body confidence, embracing and accepting that everyone has flaws, being reminded of what people actually look like compared to everything fake we see online, and learning to love my body more for what it's capable of rather than how visually pleasing it is for others. Sure, it was very scary taking my clothes off the first time, but then it's just so comfortable. Yeah, I'll never want to wear a bathing suit again after swimming in the ocean or any natural water nude. And sunbathing. Being on your phone is also typically impolite in nudist environments, and so it's a great time to unplug and enjoy nature. It's not for the close-minded. I would guess part of the experience is normalizing and desexualizing naked bodies, but I could be wrong. I've heard cultures that grow up with nudity sexualize bodies less. Very comfortable. My parents weren't into it in a big way by any stretch, but we went to nude beaches as a family when we were younger, maybe a handful of times. I think mainly in France and perhaps once in Spain. It certainly normalized it to me to the extent I think it's a fine thing to do. I remember telling other people casually though and them being quite shocked. Some even thinking it was abusive of my parents to have done that. Being pretty autistic about the whole thing, I just remembered thinking it was a whole lot easier. Nothing to trap sand, get wet bathing suits gross. Easier to swim, no timelines etc. Essentially all the bathing life hacks. I always go topless and or nude in any pools piscine beach setting if it's legal and permitted. I grew up with nudist parents. They weren't very into the lifestyle, but we did go to nude beaches a few times and were generally naked inside the home. I found it comfortable. Clothes are a bit of a pain and I do prefer to just be tits out at all times. It definitely desexualized nakedness and helped me appreciate that humans come in all shapes and sizes. When people find out, they often act very shocked, but I had a positive experience. Even being a teenage girl in those spaces felt frankly much safer than regular beaches. It's great, comfortable. Being outside in the summer is way better, swimming is really 10x better than normal, and you save loads of time not doing laundry. Swimsuits are the dumbest invention ever. It's a big deal until you're nude, and then suddenly you're kind of taken aback by how not a big deal it is. It's funny that way. I feel like being a nudist as a guy would be difficult as fuck, like I would be horrified of getting a random boner el mao. It's cold, man. I recently became a nudist. In a bathhouse with no sauna. Very liberating. Got lots of vitamin D. My deployment in 2006. We pulled into Cyprus. Went to the beach, and since it was Europe they were topless. Actually, it was a nudist beach. The first hour it was awesome seeing every manner of boob available. But then it just becomes normal and you don't notice anything anymore. Having lived at a nudist resort for the better part of a year, it's very freeing. A lot of stress goes away when your clothes come off, in my opinion. Also, everyone is very friendly and easygoing for the most part. Check out the Honor website and you can find all kinds of places to go and be your true free self. It really is a liberating experience. I didn't grow up a nudist but came to it in my late 20s. I no longer live at the resort, but it's an easy 2-12 hour drive from my place now. It's open year-round and has a ton of things to do like hiking, swimming, a giant hot tub, and a big clubhouse for dances and such. Amazing! I wrote a 10-part autobiography about my life. You can find the first part here. https. I know the sub is nudist fiction, but there was really no other place to post it that was not an adult sub. The mod and I discussed it prior to my posting it. Note, I was asked a number of times about not expanding on the childhood nudity. Tag is still tag. Hide and seek is still hide and seek, and swimming is swimming whether you were dressed or not. I'll throw out my limited experience. I was raised among different communities with freely nude people, on occasion. I am a woman. When I was 9, there was one nudist man in one household. He would be the only person to attend dinners of like 20-30 people naked. I didn't even notice. Frankly, kids are adaptable to norms, especially when no one emphasizes it. Was on nudist camping spots with family 30 years ago. Best camping ever, going around in the woods and not have to worry about dirty or ripped clothes. Perfectly normal. Our nude vacations were always more fun. Growing up in Italy, it was the norm for kids to be nude at beaches, and many women went nude or topless. I don't remember being uncomfortable about it, leering pedos or anything like that. When I was about 12 and we moved to the States, I had a friend with an internet connection who was very excited to show me a website with nude women. I remember how weird I thought the whole thing was. Like, okay, she's naked, so what? The fact that I had seen thousands of nude or topless women by then blew his mind. Oh, it's pretty hard.